Hello, team. My name is Kirsten Decker, and I wanted to go over the design principles for my infographic that I've shared with you guys today. So, we're just going to go ahead and take a look at that. I have it pulled up here. So, to start off with, I wanted to focus on the font. To begin with, let's talk about the font sizes that I used. So, throughout this first beginning piece of information, I used, a bigger font for the title, but I kept the font for this first piece of information kind of the same, almost the same size as the title, because I wanted this first piece of information to be very important because I think it sets the overall theme about what we're going to be talking about for the rest of the infographic. So I used a font size that was fairly similar to the title here. And then as we go down, we can see that I kept kind of the same font size as well for the titles here as well. And then a little bit smaller for the dates here. And then all of the font sizes in the graphs are smaller just because you're really going to have to look at those to get the information out of it. And so some people will, some people won't. But they aren't, the most important pieces of information. So, the font size is a little bit smaller. And just for, spacing wise, I had to make the font size smaller for those graphs because I did present, two graphs for each side. So, and then down here, as we scroll down, we can see I really wanted to make these pieces of information focal points. So I made the font size actually very big for the bottom half of this infographic. And that's because I felt like this was the most important pieces of information. I really wanted people to see that, they can improve their happiness and they don't just have to feel stuck. And so that's why I provided, some, 4 ways to improve it, and a quote over here that's more hope-filled and lighthearted. And so I used my font size to kind of help aid the reader and the viewer of this infographic down to that information below. So then if we take a look at font as well, I used a serif font for information that I felt was more just strict facts. So up here, I use a serif font for more professionalism for the title, of course. And then here is just a strict fact, like this is what it is. There's no opinion or anything like that. So I wanted to use a serif font to kind of show professionalism with there, but I wanted there to be contrast between the percentage and the rest of the words. So for the percentage, I used a sans serif font to just kind of add some contrast. And then down here, I wanted to add more contrast as well. So I had sans serif fonts for the title as well as for all of the graphs below. But I wanted, the important pieces of information, which is the years. As we can see on either side, the years are going to be in that same serif font that's up above to really add a little bit of professionalism back into the infographic. And as we go down, we can see these really big pieces of information. These aren't the most, important pieces of information, but I wanted them to have impact. And so that's why I kind of made them sans serif as well, to really contrast between all the serif that comes down below. And as well, this over here, I wanted to really pop out and have contrast, so I made it sans serif. And then over here, you can see that I made these serif right here, just because they're more little tidbits of professional information, as well as down here is more professional information. So I used a serif font. All right, so let's talk about the color scheme next. So as you can see, it's a very dark color scheme with just pops of blue. So I used an analogous color scheme for this. I wanted to have a darker theme because of the topic we were talking about was depression. So I thought a darker, more monochromatic, analogous theme would work really well for this. So I used a lot of grays and black and dark grays and whites, along with pops of the same blue colors that are, of course, right next to each other on a color wheel. And you can see this work really well with my pie charts over here. It works really well to show the contrast, as well as right here. You can see the contrast between the blue and the dark gray, and it really shows the difference in the data. And then down here, it was just all monochromatic down here. So you can also see that I used a lot of icons in this infographic. I felt like these icons were important to add visual interest and give the readers something to remember when they're thinking about the information. So kind of these icons kind of relate to the information I'm trying to tell them, like build quality relationships. And as you can see, it's kind of a little icon of relationships and set goals, and it's a little list. So I wanted people to really have that picture to grab onto. And as well as here with the happiness score, I wanted these, to kind of add a little bit of lightheartedness and give the reader, again, something to focus on and something to look at. As well as up here, I'm telling some pretty sad information. 8.1% of American adults have depression. And so I wanted these to kind of add a little bit of lightheartedness, but also add importance. So these are kind of focal points as well, which gets to my next point, focal points. So where I added icons is where focal points of information are. So right here, there's a big focal point of information with our beginning quote for the infographic. And then, down here, these are focal points of information with the happy faces and stuff to talk about the happiness score. And then down here are, what I feel is the most important information, which is, things that they can do moving forward to improve their happiness. And that's why I did some pretty big icons for each of those, as well as this quote over here. And so finally, I wanted to talk about my graphs a little bit more, and I used proximity with these graphs. I felt like this was a really important way that I could show, one side versus the other. So I felt proximity was the best for this. So I put like graphs together because with proximity, you're putting similar pieces of information together. So, I did the early years on this side, more recent years, and then I'd put the same type of graph side by side so you can see the contrast difference between each year. So I felt that was really important, as well as, I put proximity down here as well with the happiness score, one versus the other, early years versus now. So I felt that was really important. And then down here, you can see I kind of used a vertical way of presenting the information just because it's more like a list. So I kind of staggered it a little bit, but it's vertical. You can see that it's be kind, build quality relationships, practice gratitude, and set goals. It's 4 ways, vertical, very strict and straightforward. So yeah, that's all the design principles that I really wanted to discuss today with this